So I know Mike Dillard because he's my father. And so not only is he my father, but we own a family business. So I've had the pleasure of working with him my entire career. He's been my mentor my whole life.
I'm president of Century. I've actually worked there for 36 years, which is how I know Mike. I remember meeting him in the interview process, and the last question he asked me was, what is the square root of pi? And I remember I had no idea what the square root of pi was. And I thought it was an odd question, but evidently the answer is simply, I don't know, work.
Dos Equis used to always have that commercial with the most interesting man in the world. I would say that Mike Dillard is one of the most interesting people in the world. So it's hard to go pick out one story, but he's kind of lived not just one life, but several lives. He's been a championship martial artist throughout his career. He's used to be Chuck Norris' stunt devil, and he lived an entire stunt career. He was a mountaineering guy who tried to climb the 7 tallest peaks, and he's been a multi-time world champion race car driver. He just has so many different facets of his life, and when he goes into a new hobby or into a new thing, he doesn't just go lightly, he goes all in.
The reason why I think Mike is deserving of being a Wall of Fame recipient, it starts with a question that we ask new people when they start at Century. Is there a teacher that you remember that made a difference in your life? And the reason why we ask that question is because what a good teacher does is they believe in their student. And in fact, there's a word, the word encourage, which is a Latin word that means put courage in. And that's what a great teacher does. They put courage in. Mike is a teacher. In fact, he's a great teacher. He still teaches martial arts to this day, professor at OU. And I think that's the thing he probably loves the most is coming to Century, not to get involved in any of the business stuff, but to simply be on the mat and teaching. And the difference that it makes in terms of a teacher believing in a student and then believing in their potential, seeing their potential, and then eventually that student starts believing in themselves. And that's when the confidence kicks in, and that's what changes their life.
So when I look at the OKCPS Wall of Fame members, I think they all have a lot in common, obviously going to the Oklahoma City public school system, but their success is not just success. I think that they all seem to kind of lift up the organizations they were a part of or help a lot of other people in that process. And that's why I think Mike Dillard is also, he falls into that same category because it may be for our specific industry, but for the martial arts in general, he has done an incredible job of not only being successful in our industry, but also lifting up so many people. And when we have something like martial arts where the end consumer, the end product is really teaching the martial arts on the mat, that can change a lot of people's lives. And he realized that by changing the school owners' lives, on average, they have about 150 students. So we can get thousands of these school owners' lives changed. Well, that has a huge, huge impact. And these kids experience that on the mat every day when they train with people. It's their character being built, their confidence, discipline, honor, respect, all of those things that we love so much about martial arts. He's able to amplify that to the thousands. And I think that makes it really special for him.